This is a new video series that I'm starting called Chasing 2K. It's something that I've actually wanted to do for maybe almost even like 5 years now, but either I was too busy, too lazy, or yeah, just like not motivated enough to do so. But my video about going to China, it's been doing really well recently. So that made me, that inspired me actually. So yeah, it's really fun for me, I think, to make videos about table tennis and to also be, entertaining hopefully, as well as maybe like inspire other players out there who have similar goals, or anyone who really just like loves table tennis similar to me. So yeah, let's talk about what the series is. Yeah, let's go into like the 5 W's. So what is the series? Basically, I'm going to be documenting almost everything that I'm doing for the sport. So that includes all my training, the tournaments and leagues that I go to, kind of just like the reflections on what's going well, what's going wrong, and also just talk about kind of my short-term and long-term goals for table tennis. So who? Of course, like this video series will be about me, Riley, and just some very quick background. Like basically, I started playing around 5.5 years ago. Currently, my rating is 1437, and my highest rating about 7 months ago was 1547. So where? Yeah, so I live in the Bay Area in California, so that's where the majority of my training and competitions and leagues will be. But occasionally, I'll travel for maybe to like LA, to New York, as well as, China and like Europe. I've been there for training as well. So yeah, I think mostly in the Bay Area, but hopefully we can get some international trips eventually as well. So when? Yeah, I'll try to release episodes maybe once every month, but the cadence might vary if I get busy. And also, like if there's any big tournament like the US Open or any special training, like if I go to China again, for example, yeah, there also could be extra episodes whenever things like that happen. So why? Yeah, this is the most important question, right? Well, table tennis is something that I'm really, really passionate about. Ever since I started, yeah, and I think naturally, yeah, I usually like to have goals in like whatever I do, and this is probably one of my biggest goals in life currently. So yeah, so just to give some context though, for those of you a little less familiar with like the USAT rating system, basically it's like an ELO system, very similar to chess, that ranges from like 0 all the way up to maybe, I don't know if there's a bound technically, but like the highest player in the US I think is around 2,800. I think if some more international players came here, like the top 10, they'd be like, I don't know, 2,900 or I don't know, maybe close to 3,000 even. But anyway, it's a big range. Professional players are always above like 2,500, and really top players like the U.S. national team are like 2,700 typically. Yeah, and finally, like the average player is right around, actually literally where I am. It's like right between like 14 and 1,500. So yeah, it's a big range. So why 2,000, right? So 2,000, it's like really, it's a nice round number, of course, and it's just like a very common goal among many table tennis players. It's also incredibly difficult to achieve, as only about like 10% of players, like at least active tournament players, actually ever reach that goal. But yeah, 2,000 has been a number that I've been trying to reach for, I guess since I started almost. Like there's some people who make videos about their journey to here as well. But yeah, it's very hard to do. And I know that like my rating has been slightly stagnant recently. It's gonna be a really, really long journey. I don't want to accept that maybe one day I won't even get there, but I'm gonna do my best and hopefully document this journey. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully this show doesn't get canceled, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think this episode will give me, sorry, not this episode, this series will give me like some new motivation, or as I like to call it, like a new hope. Okay, so this first episode is going to cover the first kind of 2 to 3 weeks of me playing after China, especially revolving around like my shoulder injury. If you haven't seen my video about China, basically I injured my shoulder at the end of the second week on January 9th, so it's been about 1 month since that happened. I didn't play again until like the 30th of January, and I went to like the usual league on Sunday. That's what this footage is right now. Basically, yeah, my shoulder, it's gotten a lot better since then, but it would probably take another month to fully heal. But I think step by step, or little by little, it's been getting a little better. And as mentioned in the video about China, right now, like, I'm basically only kind of slapping the ball, not really looping it. There's like barely any spin. Or if I do loop it, it's like kind of like a arm only loop. It's very small, definitely not a whole body thing. But like, I think by being extra careful, I think this actually led to me being really lazy in my footwork, and I'm not really bending down at all either, which are both really really bad habits. But that's just something to keep in mind in case you're watching this footage and wondering like, why am I not moving? It just was an extra bad habit that formed due to mostly being careful. I'm just trying not to go too hard, basically. But yeah, I think that will get better soon enough, maybe in another month or so. Yeah, one thing I noticed while reviewing this footage is that I missed a lot of back-end loops by hitting the ball out, like not into the net, but like out. So I think I often like overcompensated and I tried spinning the ball too much. I'm generally hitting the ball a little too hard. So I think one thing to work on is like, I'm going to make this loop a little more stable, go more forward, and like, unless the ball is actually really heavy, but I don't think that will be too often. So yeah, I think my league results, you'll see like they weren't too bad, considering it was almost 2 weeks since I last played, and like especially with like the handicap per se, like of not being able to really do a forehand loop, which is normally my most powerful shot. So yeah, I won 2 matches and lost 3 of them, but 2 of the matches were like 2-3 losses, so they're pretty close. And yeah, I think the main takeaways are to move my feet more, focus on getting the ball on the table, which might sound obvious, but basically just hit a little softer, have more control. And in a later video, I think I'll go over more like the overarching goals that I want to be focusing on a little more in depth. So yeah, it's a few days later now. Today, I played a bit with my one of my friends who's also actually a little bit rusty. We only warmed up, or like when I say played, like we basically were just doing like a warm up, or like a really extended warm up for like 30 minutes, until we actually realized that since today was Tuesday, it was like basically almost every Tuesday, like 8 at 8, the club that I play at, they have like a open play night challenge. Where you basically play a single set, you move up and down like a table if you win or lose. But the catch is that there's one player from the ITDP, which is like International Talent Development Program. So like basically some maybe like teenager or possibly adult, or like I guess the age, I don't know, it can vary. But they're usually like 2,500 or above. So they're basically like, or they are professional. They're really good players. And yeah, this week it featured a player named Tyrese Knight, who is a chopper from the Barbados national team. He's roughly, I think he's like 25, 50, somewhere around there. And yeah, we actually get a 5-point head start because they're going to be much better than us. And when I played him, I think I ended like 7-11, so that means I got 2 points. And as you can see, like the first point was an ace. But like, sorry, it was an ace, but it was like because I served on the edge, which was totally accidental. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. So yeah, like the vibe is very chill, and we're all having fun, basically not taking it too seriously, but it's still a great opportunity to play like different people and see what playing a professional player is like. So yeah. Anyway, from these sets, which you'll see like right now, I think the takeaways are pretty similar to last time. Right now, I'm also missing too many forehands due to not being low enough. Obviously, my accuracy is not going to be that high as a like slapper currently. It's much higher while looping for sure. But I still think the accuracy could be a bit better by being lower and just like not hitting as hard or just like kind of aiming technically like aiming for the table or maybe I don't know if I should aim beyond the table, but because the ball might go down. But anyway, I can think about it. But yeah, I think the second main takeaway is that my pushes like really suck. It seems like whenever I push it, which is actually majority with the backhand, like they're often very high or they're slow and they're not that spinny. So basically, I'm giving way too many like easy balls to the other player to attack. So this is definitely something that I can work on in the future, or something I need to really think about, like how can I make this better. But I think for the short term, I think I should just really just focus on like kind of watching the ball and see what kind of spin that I'm receiving, and then based on that, kind of change maybe my angle, use my body a bit more. I know from China they told me to step in first and then push it, so I think take my time a little more. But basically, yeah, just watch the ball a bit more and then kind of react based on that. Yeah, I think that's it for this analysis. Yeah, so those are the two main takeaways. So yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. Yeah, that was the first chapter of the series. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, right now the format of the series is not really super structured. I think it's kind of flexible, or I'm open to feedback basically. But yeah, I think basically I'll just have a lot of match analysis, some short-term goals that I'm working on, uh, and yeah, I think we'll kind of go from there. So I think like the next episode will be mostly about my forehand, which I think it will be like another month, or maybe a little less actually, to recover based on how it's feeling right now. So yeah, I think hopefully next episode I can do slightly stronger, more forehands, less slappy, I guess. And yeah, so yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.